and welcome to the 1985 Wisconsin State Fair. We've got a good crowd out here in the South Exhibit Hall, and it's time for another one of the West Allis Community Programmers shows. I'm Bob Cole. I'll be your host for this afternoon. It is Pullet Surprise Day. I don't know who comes up with these puns. Some of them are quite clever. With me today, we had some competitions in the weightlifting, and today we have Barbara Bratley, who's an Olympic lifter. Barbara, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell us what Olympic lifting is? I know when we think of weightlifting, there's just one general category, but why don't you tell us a little bit about Olympic lifting?
Well, Olympic lifting, there are 3 different lifts that are made, and it's overhead lifting. The other kinds of weightlifting aren't over the head. There's 2, the snatch and the clean and jerk, and today I did the clean and jerk. In the snatch, in one fluid motion, you pick the bar up from the floor with a wide grip and position yourself as you pull the bar up to a point about chest high, and then drop underneath it into a squat and are holding the bar with the weight over your head and then stand up. And that's technically the most difficult of the 2 lifts. The other one is done in 2 motions, the clean portion and the jerk. And the clean, you bring the bar from the floor up to your setting on your chest, and then stand up with it, and then pushing with the arms and the legs to lift the bar, to give it some propulsion over your head. You jump and drop your whole body underneath the bar.
Now we're going to be seeing a little bit of this videotape later, and you can explain that technique. How did you ever get started in Olympic lifting? I mean, you told me before the show there aren't a lot of ladies in this.
No.
How did you get started?
There aren't a lot of ladies in powerlifting either. I guess that I had become interested in weightlifting a few years ago, just to be more healthy, I guess, and gradually began doing that more than any of the other things that I had done before. And then I was interested in becoming stronger and stronger, and became interested in powerlifting, and then became kind of bored with that.
Okay, we're going to take a look now. This is you earlier this morning. You can explain as we go along what's going through your mind right now as you're doing this.
I just have an image in my mind of pulling the bar up and very strongly, and right now, just pushing it up over my head.
Now, is that done more with the legs, or is it more with the arm
It's a combination of both, but mostly the legs.
Now, what kind of training do you have to go through to get into something like this? Do you have every day you have to do so much?
No, only 3 days a week.
3 days a week.
And I do have a 6-week program that I follow, starting with a great deal of repetitions. And I do once a week the entire lift. And then the rest of the time I do portions of it, practice portions, the portions of it that I find difficult. I'm having difficulty with.
How much of this is mental and how much is physical? Hard to say?
I would say that there's a great deal to be said for the mental aspect of it, definitely. It's difficult being up there and competing.
You ever nervous in front of all the people? Do they play a factor when you're lifting at all?
I think so. I'm much more comfortable, of course, in the gym, weightlifting, in my workouts, than I am up there in front of everyone.
Now, we see a shot of our judge here. What do they look for when you're doing this on stage?
Well, proper form. My 3rd lift, I accidentally brushed my elbow against my leg, and that disqualified me. I didn't really know what was wrong at first. And then the other thing that they look for in the jerk portion is that you're not pressing the weight up over your head, that you're dropping under the bar, that your elbows are straight, that they don't, come down at all.
Do you have a certain amount of time that you have to get the bar up over your head?
You have to make the lift within 2 minutes after being called.
Okay, as you can see, we did have quite a large crowd on hand. Is there a difference between men's lifting and ladies lifting beside the weight difference?
No.
No difference at all?
No difference.
What's the most you've ever lifted?
42 and a half kilos, which is just a little under 100 pounds.
Okay, and this is shots that we took earlier this morning. Now this afternoon you've got something else going on, a different kind of
Powerlifting this
Powerlifting.
afternoon. There's
No.
a bench press competition this afternoon. Hopefully there'll be more women there competing than there were this morning. There's a total of 65 competitors this afternoon.
Okay. Now we're watching these men do it right now. What parts of the body does this Olympic lifting enhance?
I would say definitely legs. It requires a great deal of leg strength and arms and the upper back mainly.
What category, are there different categories, size limits, or how do they award?
They're, according to body weight, we're all weighed in at a certain time before the competition begins and placed in categories according to our weight. And I was in the 60 kilo class, which is 132 pounds or less down to a certain point. Wouldn't be able to tell you right now because I'm so new to the sport exactly what they all are. But
Okay, before we go out of this, we see men of different ages, we see ladies of different ages. What's the main age group that this sport attracts?
I guess that there are more and more teenagers becoming interested in it now. I'm seeing a lot more, but it's a sport that you can compete in all age groups. There's like my coach is in his 50s and he'll be going to the Masters. The World Masters meet in Colorado Springs in October. So,
what kind of advice would you give to somebody just starting out that says, boy, this looks interesting, I'd like to get involved? What kind of advice would you give that person?
I guess that the main thing is the dedication and discipline that's required, and it's difficult but very rewarding, and to stick with it.
Now, according to you, you say you only have to work 3 times a week. Now, you're going to school right now, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have any programs at school for this kind of thing?
No
programs at
unfortunately.
school. All right. Well, we would like to thank you very much, Barbara Bradley, and we'd like to wish you a lot of luck this afternoon. You're out there. Why don't you tell them where you're going to be? At 4 o'clock this starts.
At 4 o'clock at the Activity Dome next to the slide.
Okay, terrific. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Right now, we have done a little extra work on our day. We didn't just do the bodybuilding. Dave Vieg and I, our director for this afternoon, went out this morning to the North Exhibit Hall, and we did a segment on the Professionals Incorporated. They're one of the groups that does the old-fashioned pictures that you see many people walking around the fair with. Right now, we're going to go into a 10-minute tape, and we will take you through the process. And I'm sure after you see this, you're going to be running right over there yourself to get your old-fashioned picture taken. So why don't we take a look at that right now? We're here in the North Exhibit Hall at the Professionals Incorporated, and I'm talking with Jujana Chavez. Jujana, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're running here?
Okay, we have an antique photo booth, and we take pictures of people of today and set them back to 100 years ago, or maybe 50 years ago. We have 1890s costumes, which is Western style, or Civil War, and then we also have the 1930s gangster style, which is very popular in this area.
Now, you've got quite a few costumes. Do you make these all yourself?
I design them, and I have 2 seamstresses that work on them.
Okay, now what about, say you're going to be a gangster, or as today you're going to find out I'll try and be a soldier. Are all the weapons real? How do you get those?
They're replicas. Some of them are real, most of them are replicas, and we have a firing pin in them so they can't be used.
Now, did you start this business up yourself? Is this your own operation? Do you have helpers, or?
We started 13 years ago, and my husband's a professional photographer, and I used to model, and I was in show business. So we have a lot of background on the costumes and photography and everything. So when we first started it, nobody else was doing it. We were the pioneers in this area.
Now, you are here at the State Fair every year. Do you go to other places as well during the year?
Our home is San Diego, California. We start off there, and we go all throughout the country. The furthest we go is Massachusetts.
And one thing I was always interested in, how do you get the pictures black and white? Is it just regular black and white film that makes them look real old-fashioned?
We put it through a process of chemicals, and they become the sepia tone.
How has the response from the people been so far this year at the State Fair?
This year it's been terrific. We've been up, and the people they love this. I have customers who come back year after year. So every year I have to make some new costumes for the people that have been everything.
Okay, terrific. Thank you.
Okay, we have everything from sleazy to respectable hair, tough to respectable. A lot of them are authentic, but most of them are reproductions because authentic doesn't last very long when hundreds of people wear it in a day. On our man's hats, we carry cooker hats, which is equivalent to Stetson, and they're mink, and they're very good quality hats, and they will last a while. Our women's hats are very fancy. In those days, the fancier your hat was, the more prosperous you were. And we do make most of our hats. I have to replace feathers and flowers every few years because from wear and tear, they disappear. And a couple of them are authentic. But as I said, authentic usually falls apart very quickly. Talking about authentic, I have a Lillian Russell dress on our mannequin that's 98 years old.
All right, what we've decided to do is take you through an average person's experience here at the Professionals Incorporated. We decided to have yours truly made up as one of our favorite heroes. So what we're going to do right now is pretend that we're walking up. And Susanna, why don't you explain what we have here?
Okay, I have two different sizes in the photos. We have 8 by 10, and you get 3 color of mats, the white, the dark, and the rose. And there's different prices. It's $12.60 and $13.75 total for the photos. And we chose in 11 by 14 for Bob. That's a little bit more expensive, but it's worth it if you have room for it. And we also sell the negative for $2.25, and you can make Christmas cards, reprints from that.
Okay, and you've decided on a little bit different change of costume for me this year.
Right, we're going to make you a Confederate soldier.
All right, so why don't we go in and see how the making of a Confederate soldier is done?
Okay, what Todd's doing right now is putting slacks on Bob because he came in here with shorts on, and you know we need to cover the legs. Okay, and he's going to tie him in the back. And this is where we get our kicks. When this is boring and we just have had enough, we just turn a customer around and see how funny he looks from the back. The pants are cut out in the back so we can fit different bodies into it. No, he's a soldier. That's a general. Todd, that's a general. He's a soldier. We're going to make him a soldier. Generals need a mustache and a bushy beard. We'll make him a private. Maybe in 5 years we'll make him a general. And Bob wears glasses. When people wear glasses, we usually take them off and give them an old-fashioned pair of glasses to fit him in the era. In our pictures, we don't let people smile because they didn't smile back then. And we make them formal and stiff-looking by making them sit up straight because all the pictures were like that. It was a special occasion to get your picture taken. It was like going to church on Sunday. You really didn't want to go, but you had to, so you had to make the best of it. Okay, now we're going to take Bob down to the other end and set him up. He looks good. He's not as mean looking as the gangster we had last year. Oops, got it. $11 by 14. Doesn't it look good? After we take the picture, it takes 30 minutes to get it back. And we'd prefer if you walk around and come back for it instead of waiting anxiously for it. And it's a real neat surprise to see yourself as your character. Some people don't even recognize themselves. That way you can fool your friends and relatives. Tell them you found an old-fashioned picture of your great-great-grandfather.
Okay, we're all set here. We've done everything we can do, and now it's time to see how the picture came out. I must say...
You look great. It looks so authentic.
All right, that is the soldier look, and like you said, you have tons of different ones that people can try on.
Yeah, we do. And glasses. Note the glasses, how authentic they make it look.
I tell you, this is a terrific picture. I've never seen anything so real. And I thought when I was up there, you know, you feel like I'm going to look like a goof. I was even smiling a little bit, but boy, that really looks terrific. And we're going to check out Dave Viggs when we return live to our set this afternoon. Now, Susanna, why don't you just once again explain? People can come and see you here in the North Exhibit Hall, and they can just come in. How long does it take before the pictures are ready after they sit down and get it taken?
After we take the photo, it takes 30 minutes to get it back. So by the time you come back after you had a cool drink, because it is a process to go through, your photo's ready and waiting. You can take it home with you.
Okay, well, we would like to thank Todd and Suzanne, everybody who helped us out today. And once again, for the second year in a row, Jujana Chavez, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And good luck. We'll hope to see you back here again next year.
We will be here. Thank you.
All right, we are back here, and we're going to get a shot of some of the finished products. We're having a little problem there. That was a lot of fun today. A reminder that they're in the North Exhibit Hall here at State Fair, and hopefully we're going to be going to a shot of some of our finished products in just a minute. The prices are very reasonable, and like Jujana said, it doesn't take a lot of time. It's about 15-20 minute wait after your picture's taken, and she even said it's a long process. Go ahead, get a soda, and come on back, and they'll have them ready for you. Are we going to take a look at these pictures real quick here? There's our cameraman, Dave John Dillinger Vieg. He made it, and he came on the show. Handsome guy, isn't he? Now, the trick to doing this, and there you see yours truly. Scott Weber said I shouldn't make reference to myself that way, but I am. Anyways, they're very authentic, and it's really hard. The key to this is you can't laugh. You can't smile. You're used to taking a picture smiling away. You can't do that. You got to have a good, serious face. And I had to look at Dave laughing at me behind the camera. Believe me, it was a trick to do. All right, our next segment, our own Jonathan Peterz went to the cow barn this afternoon, and he shot the championship steer. They have one of those every year, and we talked with the owner of the champ steer. So why don't we take a look at that right now?
Hi, this is John Peterz, and we are at the 1985 Wisconsin State Fair, and with me is Kurt Kickley, right? I got that right, I hope, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay, and we are at the beef barn, and I do believe you raised champion steer, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this, Kurt. How long does it take to raise a steer from the time it's small until it grows up to be, in the category of prize champion or something like that?
We bought this calf in October, and he was about 5 months old then, and then he's about 18 months old now, so it takes about 18 months before he's ready to show and stuff.
Okay, let me ask you this. As far as training them, what kind of training does it take to raise a champion steer?
It takes a lot of hard work in that. What you do is we take and we lead them around by the halter and stuff, and then we have to comb their hair every day. We comb at least 20 times a day, and that's about 5 or 6 hours a day we work with them.
Okay, let me ask you this. As far as you getting into it, how long have you been into it? And like say if somebody wants to do this or join in getting into training these steers, what would they do about going about getting into this type of thing?
I've been showing for about 12 years now, and then 12 years by myself, and then about 10 years in 4-H. And the 4-H kids, how they could ask a grown-up or something, a leader of a 4-H, how to get started in beef, or they can ask somebody that's in the 4-H how to get started, like us or something like that. We've had a lot of kids come to us and ask us. When somebody wants to get started is when they could go out to sales and they could buy a calf, a small calf for about $500 or so, and raise them up and show them.
Okay, let me ask you one more quick question here. As far as you've been on the fair, how many years have you been to the fair so far?
The state fair?
Yes.
I've been here about 6 years.
6 years. You think you'll be back here next year?
Yeah.
Definitely, huh?
Yep.
You enjoy doing this type of thing?
Oh, yeah.
Pays the bills, a lot of good money in it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, this is Jonathan Peterz for Community Programming.
All right, we'd like to thank our own John Peterz for that segment. Great job by a great guy. We are back here in the South Exhibit Hall. A great crowd on hand here at State Fair. Pulitzer Prize Day. All right, nice crowd. Pulitzer Prize Day here at the State Fair, and if you're around, got 2 more days to go here, stop by in the South Exhibit Hall. You can say hello to us. There you are. Say hi on TV, everyone. Okay, our next segment, our own Teresa was at the Cold Nose 5, a trained dog act in the children's area this morning, and we are going to take a look at that segment right now.
We're here today with Clark McDermott of the Cold Nose 5 Act. Clark, how long have you been doing this act?
Well, I've had these type of dogs for 25 years now. This is the 25th year. Before that, I had bears and elephants.
Did you train those as well?
Yes, But it got a little heavy hauling them around. It takes a big truck for elephants.
Imagine.
So I scaled the operation down somewhat.
What type of dogs are these?
Well, these are the white German Shepherd. It's just the white color phase is all. They're also called Alsatians, which is the British name for the German Shepherd.
Now, do you take these dogs around to different state fairs?
Oh, yes. We go any place. Anybody will hire us. We're available.
Okay. How long does it take to train these dogs?
Well, that's really hard to say. It depends on the individual animal and the trick that you want him to do. Some dogs will just take to something just like a duck takes to water. And something hard and some simple thing, it'll take a long time to get them to do it. So there's not really a criteria for saying how long, but you can average it out at 6 months to train a dog.
What type of training techniques do you use?
Just affection and show them how to do it, and discipline, demand instant obedience at all times.
Do you give treats?
No, no, that's, it interferes with their digestion, to put it nicely. Giving treats.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
You're quite welcome. It's been a wonderful stay here at the Wisconsin State Fair. I really enjoyed it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Goodbye.
Bye now.
All right, we are back. Thank you, Teresa, for that interesting statement. We have made Teresa promise that she's going to teach her own dog to do these tricks in less than a week, so she better get on that project right now. She had some good training this morning while she was in the children's area. Just a reminder for your entertainment tonight here at the fair, at 5:30 the daily parade is going, and at 7 and 9:30 Kenny Rogers. Right now we are going to take a look at a segment done again by Teresa, the taste testing at the Agricultural Building.
We're here today at the Consumer Product Testing Site, and here are two people who have sampled some of the delicious yogurt, sausage, cheese, and cookies. Tell me, what did you have and what did you think of them?
I had the cookie and it was really good.
What is your name?
I'm Anne-Marie Gromacki from Sussex, Wisconsin.
I'm Kate Custerman from Brookfield.
And what did you sample here today?
I had the cookie too. It was really good.
Good. What do you think of this idea of the consumer taste sampling?
I think it's really good because then it gets all the public's ideas on food, on the new food coming out.
Great. What did you think?
I think it's a good idea too. I was here yesterday. It gives you a good meal too when you're broke.
Hi, what is your name?
John Skinicki.
John, how do you like this consumer product testing?
Very good.
What did you have today?
I had yogurt and summer sausage.
Was it good?
Yes.
What did you have to do to get this stuff?
Oh, you just wait in line for a little bit, and then they give you you taste the product, and then you determine if you like it or not, and various other questions.
Okay, were they hard questions?
Well, no, just very easy.
But you enjoy the food, right?
Yes.
Great. Thank you very much for your time, and have a good day at the fair.
You're welcome.
Yes, I sure would. Real pecan. Okay. I try it first, and then I fill out this form.
All right, thank you, Teresa. We are back here in the South Exhibit Hall. Almost time to end our show for today. Before we go, just a recap of what's going to be going on later tonight. 7 and 9:30, Kenny Rogers in the grandstand. At 5:30 today, Wes Harrison, Mr. Sound Effects. This guy's terrific. He will be in the International Amphitheater. And at 7 o'clock, judging in the Coliseum, Dairy Awards, Percheron, and Belgian Hitch. So that will all be going on tonight. We'd like to thank our crew. I wrote everybody's name down. Gary, John, Hal, Al, Kenny, Joe, Dave, Dale. Thanks to everybody. Right now we're going to say so long from State Fair. Give yourself a big hand, audience. You did a great job. See you tomorrow.